tonight, and this year the Grammys has moved to Monday. Tomorrow, Bruno Mars is just one of the many talented singers to receive a nomination. Christian Blauvelt, deputy editor of Culture for BBC.com, joins us with a preview and a few predictions about who he thinks will take home the Golden Gramophone. Welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
So we were just watching Bruno Mars. Let's start first with Record of the Year, because that's one of the records that's nominated, right?
Oh, most definitely. And I think that Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars are going to win for Uptown Funk. Bruno Mars just performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, of course, with Beyonce and Coldplay. And now for the Super Bowl of music, the Grammys, I think he is going to win Record of the Year. This was the #1 song of 2015. It was #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 14 straight weeks. Only one other song in history has actually topped that.
You can't help but dance when you hear it. Let's see, though, because we have a full screen of who he's up against in this category for Record of the Year. I Can't Feel My Face from The Weeknd, Thinking Out Loud, Ed Sheeran, Blank Space, Taylor Swift, that's a good one in my opinion. Really Love, and then, of course, Uptown Funk, but you're going with Bruno.
Yeah, I mean, Uptown Funk is also, it gave us a music video that's the 4th most watched YouTube video of all time. If there is a spoiler here, it could be Blank Space, which is the #2 most watched YouTube video of all time, but I think it's going to be Uptown Funk.
Okay, so the next category we're going to talk about is Album of the Year, which encompasses the entire CD.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is going to be where Taylor Swift really shines. 1989 is one of her most successful albums. It sold over 5 million copies.
And so many singles off that album.
Shake It Off, Blank Space, Style, Bad Blood. I mean, hit after hit after hit. It represents a complete transformation from country to pop. It's an absolute phenomenon.
It's a great album. Let's see, though, who she's up against, because she does have some competition in this category. We have Sound and Color from Alabama Shakes, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, Traveler, Chris Stapleton, and then Beauty Behind the Madness. Kendrick Lamar, you said, has the most nominations.
That's true.
Right?
He has 11 nominations, and that's the most ever for a hip-hop album, actually. So he could be a contender to win Album of the Year, but I do think it's going to be 1989.
Okay, so we did hip-hop. Let's switch over to country now, because you know that's one of my favorite categories. We're going to talk about Country Album of the Year. Let's show the full screen of the nominees in this category. Sam Hunt, Montevello, Painkiller, Little Big Town, The Blade, Ashley Monroe, Pageant Material, Casey Musgraves, and Traveler, Chris Stapleton. I was telling you earlier, it's interesting to see what the Grammys nominates in terms of country categories versus what, like, the Academy of Country Music Awards nominates. Very different.
Very different, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you know, Casey Musgraves doesn't maybe get as much radio play, you know, for big country fans, but she's beloved by the Grammys for sure. I think for Best Country Album, though, it's going to be Chris Stapleton. What a year he had. He has been a songwriter in Nashville for years. He's only 37, but he's written hits for George Strait, Kenny Chesney, Brad Paisley, Darius Rucker, even Adele. And his debut album, Traveler, was a huge hit. I think he's going to win Best Country.
It really has been his year. I do love Sam Hunt, too, but we'll have to see. All right, and it's not just about the awards. It really is about the performances, too. Let's talk about the performances.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Taylor Swift, of course, is opening the Grammys. She's going to be kicking off the festivities completely, and it's going to be awesome. Rihanna's performing as well. Kendrick Lamar's performing. Lady Gaga's giving a David Bowie tribute. Bonnie Raitt and Gary Clark Jr. and Chris Stapleton are going to be giving a B.B. King tribute. And we have a first.
I was going to say,
unique,
which is Broadway at the Grammys, right?
Broadway at the Grammys. Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda's smash hit musical, is going to be performing actually live via satellite from the Richard Rodgers Theater. That's the first time that a Broadway show has actually been broadcast live from its theater. It's going to be the opening number from the show. Really unique.
That's so interesting. So what are you looking forward to most?
I think really Hamilton. I mean, that's going to be really exciting, I have to say. But Taylor Swift, you know, I mean, there's been some controversy the past few days as well.
Kanye.
With Kanye saying that he made her famous when he stormed the stage during the VMAs back in 2009. Very controversial. She released a statement through her rep saying that that was not the case. So
I'm sure she'll, there's a line in his new song, so I'm sure she'll be asked about that on the red carpet as well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thank you so much, Christian.
My pleasure, as always.
We appreciate your expertise, as always, and don't forget the Grammy Awards airs tomorrow night right here on CBS 2, starting at 8 o'clock, and don't forget to stay tuned afterwards for a special late edition of CBS 2 News at 11.